You know that feeling, right? You're lying in bed, it's pitch black, and then you hear it. A creak, a thump from downstairs. Your imagination just takes off. Well, that universal feeling is right at the heart of the fantastic story we're going to break down today.
So, we are diving into The Night the Ghost Got In, an absolute classic of American humor by James Thurber. We're going to trace the hilarious chain reaction of pure chaos that turns one little bump in the night into a total citywide meltdown.
You know, the biggest messes always start with something tiny. And for the Thurber family, way back on the night of November 17th, 1915, it all kicked off with just a simple sound. Footsteps circling the dining room table.
Okay, this opening line is just brilliant. The narrator, looking back on it all, gives us everything we need. You can just feel the exhaustion and the regret, can't you? He's about to tell us a story of total madness, and he's basically saying, I really wish I'd just stayed in bed.
And that word he uses, hullabaloo, it's perfect. It's not some big tragedy, it's not a serious crime. No, it's just a loud, confusing, kind of comical mess. And that one word, it sets the entire tone for the escalating absurdity that we're about to get into. So here's where the first domino falls. The narrator, he's just gotten out of the bath, he hears footsteps, and his mind immediately goes to the supernatural, a ghost. But when he wakes up his brother Herman, Herman's brain jumps to a much more real and much more scary conclusion: burglars. And just like that, you've got two completely different realities happening in the very same house.
All right, so the brothers arguing is one thing, but things don't really go off the rails until their mother enters the scene. She hears all the commotion, and she immediately jumps on the burglar train. And when she decides something needs to be done, well, things are about to get interesting.
And her plan, oh man, her plan is a work of art and panicked thinking. The phone's downstairs with the so-called burglars, so that's a no-go. Her solution, improvise. What follows is this just beautifully bonkers chain of events. It's that classic panic mode, right? It's not about finding the best plan, it's about finding a plan right now.
And there it is, the point of no return. The shoe goes flying right through the neighbor's window, shattering the glass and the quiet of the night. You can't undo that, can you? The hullabaloo has now officially escaped the house and is loose in the neighborhood.
So, you've got a smashed window, you've got someone yelling, burglars. Yeah, the police are going to show up. That's a given. But they don't just, send one patrol car. Oh no, they arrive in force, ready for a major crisis.
And check this out. The police response is this massive overreaction, which is kind of perfect because it totally mirrors the family's own panic. We're talking a car, motorcycles, a patrol wagon, 8 cops in total. Even reporters show up. That tiny little misunderstanding has officially snowballed.
Okay, and this is where the confusion gets really layered. The police storm the house thinking it's full of hysterical, maybe drunk people. The family, on the other hand, thinks the cavalry has arrived to fight off a gang of criminals. They're all in the same house, but they might as well be on different planets. Communication is pretty much impossible.
So, just when you think things cannot possibly get any more confusing, the whole mess moves upstairs. After the police have torn the house apart and found nothing, they hear a noise from the one place they haven't checked yet. And this leads to the story's incredible climax.
Because up in that attic is the one person in the house who is even more disconnected from reality than anybody else, grandfather. And he's about to wake up not to the sound of police, but to what his mind thinks is something else entirely.
You see, grandfather sometimes gets confused and thinks the Civil War is still going on. So when he's woken up by a bunch of men in uniforms charging up his stairs, his brain doesn't register police. No, it registers deserters. And he prepares to defend his home from cowards.
And the stuff he shouts is just amazing. It's completely out of another time. Can you just imagine you're a cop in Columbus, Ohio in 1915, and this old man in a nightgown is yelling this at you? At this point, the confusion is just absolute.
And then it gets physical. In this patriotic, delusional state, grandfather actually disarms a cop and shoots him. I know it sounds violent, but the way it's told is so absurd that it actually becomes the comedic high point of the entire crazy night.
So after the gunshot, the police basically retreat, grandfather just goes back to bed, and the night is finally over. The next morning, everyone is left trying to piece together what on earth just happened. And this is where it all becomes clear. The chaos was all because of how differently everyone saw the situation. I mean, not a single person had a correct grasp on reality. From the narrator's ghost to his mom's burglars, to his grandpa's Civil War deserters. Everyone was living in their own little movie. And the collision of those movies, that's what created the hullabaloo.
So why is this all so funny? It really comes down to this one literary device, deadpan humor. The narrator tells this completely insane story as if he's just filing a simple, boring report. And it works perfectly, because while everyone else is panicking, he's the calm center. By presenting all this absurdity without emotion, he forces us to see just how ridiculous it all was.
And here it is, the final, perfect punchline. Grandfather, the guy who shot a cop, wakes up the next morning, fresh as a daisy, with no memory of his role in any of it. He's just annoyed by all the terry-hootin', or noisy commotion. It's the ultimate deadpan moment, the perfect ending to a night of total misunderstanding.
So, that leaves us with one final question. The narrator's footsteps kicked the whole thing off, sure, but who really caused the hullabaloo? Was it him? His brother? His mother? Grandfather? The story seems to suggest that maybe, when panic takes over, there isn't just one person to blame. Maybe a simple misunderstanding can just take on a life of its own. What do you think?